Howdy y'all. I'm going to do a pour painting, and this is the stuff we're using. We're using all recycled paints that were from previous paintings, and I'm going to do a colander pour. So I've got my colander ready. I just used my little camera stand and some beading wire and got it all situated. I've got an offset spatula, some crafting sticks or popsicle sticks, and then these are all the colors that are left over from previous pours. And I have just kind of mixed in a little bit of water because some of them are kind of old, a couple months old, and got them all thinned out nicely. And I'm going to use this color here as the pour base. I'm going to do a pour with this, and then I'm going to do a colander pour on top of it. So here we go. I'm just going to pour this all over. It's got some green metallic in there. Real pretty stuff. And I'm just going to try and get this to cover the whole canvas. I have a touch more over there if I need it. But this is just going to be a base for my colander pour because I don't want it to just be plain. I want it to have some kind of interest in the background going on. So, right over the edge. I'm not really trying to get anything special with this. I'm just trying to cover. I just want to cover the background. Make sure it flows off the edges. And I can come back and touch it up a little bit later. Boy, that metallic sure is pretty off in there. Shiny. I think this is going to be enough. It seems to be moving around pretty good. I didn't really think to thin this down with any water. I thinned the other ones down because they've been sitting for a little while and seemed like they needed it. The last time I tried to use this recycled paint idea, it was a little bit gloppy and a little bit thick. I mean, it worked, but it wasn't quite exactly how I wanted it. I have to be careful not to touch the sides when I'm tilting it. I kind of forget that sometimes and touch the side and mess it up. Okay, we got one corner left. I think it needs a little help. I'm going to put some of that other green color pour on there. Just to kind of help it a little bit. Like I said, I'm not going for anything really special with this. I just want the background not plain. I didn't want to go to just white or black. I just wanted something with a little bit of interest going on in the background. And I think that did it. I think that got that corner. Maybe do this side a little bit. I've got my thumbtacks in the back and I'm trying to hold on them, but they're not always super secure. And I don't want to drop it. In a tiny little area here. And a little one here. Okay. I got some little pieces of board set here. That turned out pretty good. Couple little touch-ups over here. Right on the corner. And there's my paint room partner, Mr. Howard. Okay, I'm going to set up my colander. I'm going to try and put it right in the middle think that's pretty close, y'all. Okay. Pop on another pair of gloves. Those were really painty. Doing the tilt on the pour is a messy job. So here we go. We're just going to pour in colors kind of randomly. I'm just choosing whatever kind of strikes my eye. And we're going to let it go, and after this I'm going to remove the colander and not tilt the painting. Just let the puddle stay and see what happened. I had good luck with the last one. It got kind of a wrinkly, leathery texture, but I really thought that was kind of neat looking, so I'm going to go with it. And like I said, these are all just leftover colors from previous paintings. And I thought this would be a good way to use some of them. And to see how this does on a wet surface. Previously, I did it on a dry canvas. So I'm curious to see what happens with a wet canvas. This lovely cobalt blue. I think that's one of my favorite paints. Every time I'm in here doing a painting, I want to use lots of blue. Some of these are left over from some paintings we did a couple months ago. The paint seems to store really good in these little cups with lids. It's accumulating in the colander and kind of getting a little fuzzy when I pour it quickly, which kind of looks neat. I like the silver and purple combo. And somehow this golden brown really seems to go well with these bright colors. And you know, I didn't pick any of these colors by choice. This is just what's left over. I'm just going to randomly putting them in here. I've got a little bit of pink. I'm kind of saving it for last. I guess I better go ahead and put it in there though, because sometimes the very last of the colors don't make it. There's the pink. Got some orange. Got quite a bit of that orange left over. That orange, yellow, and green that was in the big cups was left over from those galaxy pours, which are super cool and are getting better all the time. I think we're getting down to the end of it. I thinned this down pretty good, and it looks like it's getting a nice feathery mixture going on in there. I like the way this is turning out. It's not turning out the way I expected it to. And that's the way it always is with these paintings. They never turn out exactly the way you expect them to. So, this is the tricky part. I have to lift this without making a big glopping mess. And last time I pulled it to the side a little bit. I'm going to try and just lift it straight up. Well, it wiggled a little bit, but okay, there it is, you guys. I guess I'm going to tilt it just a tiny bit, maybe to get it in the center. You know what? I know. I'm just going to leave it alone. If it runs off the edge, it runs off the edge. It looks like it's going to right here. It looks like it's fixing to run off right now. But that's okay. We're going to let it run off the edge if it wants to. I think I'm just going to leave it alone and let it do however it wants to. And when it's done, we'll see what it looks like. It has a couple interesting places. This pink with the orange, that's kind of cool. It came right through. Yeah, I like this. Okay, so I'm going to let this sit for a couple of days. It looks like it's going to pour off the edge a little bit anyway. Let's go over to the, well, I want that to stay in the middle. You know, I'm not going to mess with this. I really like the way it looks. I'm not going to mess with it. So yeah, I'm going to let this sit, and then in a few days when it's done doing what it's due, I will come back and show you the finished product. So, thanks for joining me, and y'all be sweet.